We're going to begin working our way down our template to make it ours. And we're going to use that as a way to show you how to use the additional elements. We've already shown you in our text elements training, we've shown you how to use text, but we're going to show you use the other elements that you're going to encounter as you go through any template or as you're building site pages yourself. So the first thing you'll see here is we have an image. So I'm going to select the image element, and it's going to bring up all of our image settings on the right-hand side. Now, just like in all our elements, we're going to have some options. So let's talk about margin and padding. So margin is the space outside of your element. That's what we call margin. It's the space outside. Padding is the space that is inside. You're going to notice margin and padding has a major impact when you're working with text elements, but it applies to multiple areas. So for example, you'll see right now, our padding on this image is 0. If I change the top padding to 80, you'll see it gives us a lot of space between the logo itself and the top of our element boundary, okay? But if I reset this, let's say to 20, so now we can still see there's still some distance between our element boundary and our logo. But if I set this now, our top margin, and I set this to 80, now you'll see our element boundary actually moves down. So margin and padding is a great way to organize where everything sits. And I do want you to continue to pay attention that I'm doing all my editing right now in desktop mode. All the settings that you create in desktop mode can be changed in mobile mode so it fits more of a mobile phone look. And so you'll be able to adjust individually. But we're just focusing as we go through this training, we're just focusing on desktop mode right now. So for us, we don't want our logo to be that low. So we're going to go ahead and reset this as it was. And we'll reset our padding to 0. But you can play with that to get a feel of what things are going to look like on your screen. If we continue to roll down, you'll see you still have background color options. And so I can set the background of my image to be a color and so on and so forth. We're going to leave it transparent. And you can have your opacity of your image. You can fade it if you choose. You can set the alignment to whatever you need it to be. And now you'll get into image options. So this is where you'll actually choose the image that you want to add. All of our images work through linking, and you don't have to know the link. So you're just going to click on the image icon just to the right of the link. You're going to select it, and it's going to open up your image section here, and you're going to have your various folders that we've created. If you've gone through our brand boards training, we have our brand boards folder. So I'm going to look at our social connector because that's what we're going to use here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this basic logo that we have. So as you can see, it loads up and it's kind of small and it's got the black. So I don't know if it really fits. So that's okay. We're just using it as an example, but you'll notice, so we have, now it's got this new link. You'll see optimize image load. This is to allow things to move faster. You can turn it off and it'll give you a higher quality image, but it will slow down your image load. You'll then see that you have the alternative text for SEO. This is really important. So we'd say social connector logo. And this is for a really important for SEO, search engine optimization, but it's also important for people that have visual disabilities. They can't see everything on the screen, so they can use their computer system to make things more available to them, and it'll read this alternative text for them. Then we have our size, and right now we've got the width set to 164 pixels, so we can change this, and we're just going to make it full size, and now it's too big. And so you can change the sizing to be around what you want it to be. And so finally, you have your image actions. So if I select image actions, you'll see that I have lots of options here. I can have it open the pop-up. I can have it go to a website. I can have it hide or show elements, send an email. You can have it do all kinds of things. Go to a step inside of our funnel, go to the next step of our funnel. And you can have it do all kinds of things just by somebody clicking on this image. So that's what it means when you see image actions. You can determine what's going to happen there. We're going to leave this blank for right now. We're just going to say there is no image actions. Those are your basic settings. You also have advanced settings for images, and you can go through these. You can put a border around the image. You can take a lot of advantage of a lot of the different settings. And then we'll work on animations in our animations training because they apply to multiple types of elements. And so that's how you work with your image elements. Now we're going to continue down this route and we're going to talk about buttons. So another element that you're going to see a lot are buttons. And you'll see this button's using a custom value. We're going to change that here because we don't need a custom value. You can use your custom values, and we talked about those in settings, and then this will fill in the information for that custom value that you have in your system. We're not going to do that. We're just going to say claim your free schedule, your free booking. Okay, so what we've done is this is a button element. So if I come over to the left-hand side, you'll see that we have another type of element, which is a button, and it sits under our form elements. And so this is going to say schedule your free booking. And on the right-hand side of our settings, you'll see all the options you have for scheduling that booking. So, or excuse me, for what that button can do. First, we have the background color of that button. Currently it's set to white, but I can set it to my purple or my orange color that I like. Scrolling down, you can change the font size. All this is very similar to our text elements that we can change. So you're going to see lots of different, very similar things that are just used differently here for the button. We have our color options for the button. So this is our text color. So I can change the color of the font if I'd like, and I can maybe make it green if I wanted to. I don't want to. I'm going to stick with our black. Subtext color. So we'll get down to that in a second. Here you can see that we've got margin. So it's got a 40 pixel margin from above. That's the space between here and here. It's got 15 in the padding. So that's the space between here and our text. It's got 20 on each side of the element itself. And that's what gives you, I could make it bigger. So if I wanted to make it 40 and 40, that will make my button a little bit bigger. So I have those options here. Additionally, I have schedule your free booking. I could also just say, click now, and you'll see it adds a subtext. And this is where you come up into our other areas. We have our subtext color, and I can make this gray. I can come up and I can change my subtext size if I wanted to, maybe make this 20 and makes it a little bit bigger, which then makes me want to make this a larger for our regular. And so on and so forth. So you can see now we've got this button that is that. If we scroll down and we continue to scroll down, you'll see, what does this do? It says it links to the next step. Well, what is my next step? If I click on my pages button, you'll see my next step is booking, which is actually where I wanted to go because I said click your free booking, and we'll work on that in another training. So that's how you can customize your images. That's how you can customize your buttons. Then we're going to click the save so that this is all saved. And we're going to confirm that. And now this is saved and we're ready to continue. We can walk away, we can work on things, and then we can come back in and continue to edit this to get our coaching call all booked for our top health coach.